I almost feel bad doing this. Like, I don't even see the point necessarily, but I think what should be obvious to the people now. I think I may have tried to like the whole prophetic shit. Like, but I think people can see the cracks for a few games now. You choose to ignore it against South Alabama because reasonable. First bad game of the season, like truly. Well, we'll say mediocre. We'll say mediocre. I'd say bad. I'd say bad. But you look at it, and a lot of people kind of waved it away in the like the whole. Well, they put a lot of young people in at halftime, and they didn't really like have the same level of offensive expectations in the second half. I guess people want to say. But then you look at the defense, and people are like, "Oh, well, the fucking defense." Well, people just kind of like waved away the defense like being bad again. The secondary being bad more specifically, but the front seven didn't really any sacks in that game. Um, and I'll give the defense that it has improved in the aspect of bending and not breaking since that point in time. And I have to give you double credit because the offense has shit at the bed immensely since that point in time. So, in the fact that like they have held A&M, a top 9 team, to 9 points, or not 9 points, to I think it was 16. We had a chance to win it the last drive, so 16 points. And then they held Oklahoma to, I want to say, 20. Well, offensively, in terms of like non-cheating touchdowns, I think they only scored one non-cheating touchdown because they scored the 14, or they got to, so they had the 3 from the fumble that got called back. You can give them the 3, I don't care. So 10 points, whatever. Then they got the 7 from the cheating touchdown. Then they got a true like drive on the field and get a touchdown to kind of ice the game. They got I think it was called a safety. I turned the game off at that point. They got the safety to end the game or some shit like that. So that happened. LSU and Ole Miss. Let me switch this game real quick. I'm on what's that Tennessee one. But yeah, so Tennessee versus LSU. The defense has bucked up. I mean, it's still very bend no break. The secondary is not good. Tennessee versus LSU. Damn it, Tennessee versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss versus LSU. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so the problem's obviously been the offense. I'm not gonna go into like, it's like that's obvious, right? But what did you have change? I guess is the point of this TikTok. I think that you have to fire Hugh Freeze at some point, but you're not gonna do that next week, obviously. The play calling just is what it is. I think Hugh Freeze should not be coaching at this point, both because of his own like impotence, but even more so like this guy's been doing some real hope shit. Like he just probably is not in a mental capacity to like coach. He's not good at coaching. Like, he's worse at coaching than he was the first year where you had like supposedly like no talent, as people told me back in 2023, and he choked against Georgia and Alabama. He didn't have the talent to win those games. But he was a way better schemer, even like game day caller in those games that season. He's been just kind of regressed from the last 2 years to this year. Maybe even regressed last year, considered a talent increase. But it's just been a huge regression here. And I don't think the other guys are worth the shit. Like I don't think like the offensive coordinators that are on this staff are like good at play calling. They were brought in to do other things than play call. So I don't think they're worth the shit either. So I think you just have to ride them out. They are not good, and that's just going to be what it is, which really makes the rest of this like irrelevant, really. But I would say probably give an open tryout to the quarterback position in this bye week coming up. Not really a real reason to like stick with Jackson Arnold outside of just like Hugh Freeze does not like to like look as if he's wrong. Even like his best like of physical health, he just does not want to like look like he's wrong. And I get it. You don't want to like appear to be wrong, but it was just a miss. Like Arnold was a miss of an evaluation. We really haven't even run the true RPO like heavy scheme. We even ran with Thorne, who wasn't an RPO quarterback often, because he did trust Thorne to make those reads. He doesn't trust Arnold to like make those RPO reads for the most part. We still do RPOs, but it's not like it's a lot of heavy just true drop back stuff that we've done in this game in Oklahoma. And with the lack of like wanting to run the ball, seemingly, there's not really much value in doing an RPO scheme, I suppose. So again, he's just like had some horseshit like semblance of a scheme that he kind of threw together, and he got a quarterback that like on paper should have like been able to run that scheme, but the scheme is falling apart, and the quarterback just isn't good. Not really another way to look at it. Arnold just isn't a good quarterback. I mean, he wasn't. He was a much better quarterback last year in a scheme that basically made him not a quarterback at all, a running back essentially. But even the season before that, I mean, it's still like a much better player. So, just with what we got here, he's somehow regressed from not being a real quarterback to being like not even a real player, I guess, basically. Um, so I don't think there's really much reason to not play like Deuce Knight or Ashton Daniels. They probably won't succeed in this, but I don't see like you're not going to succeed anyway this season. Like you're not going to win games this season. Notre Dame put up with a freshman quarterback, a redshirt freshman, but a freshman quarterback put up like 500 yards in this team, and I believe about 40 points, and we put up negative. Well, no one. I think Tessitore said 1 yard in the fourth quarter. So we put up 10 points, and that was pretty much 7 points from the defense. We put up 3 points, and I believe about 170 yards. I think all in all. So yeah, we're not going to be good at any point this season. It's just not going to happen. But I'd rather at least like see somebody else like be bad than see the same guy be bad. But Hugh does not seem to care about that based on recent history. Running, you should run the ball more. You're not because the offensive line is not. The offensive line is not good at run blocking. I mean, I definitely would say that to give the guys, the coordinators, some credit. Run blocking is not something this team is good at. They look good against absolutely nothing, which is what Baylor was in Ball State. But since then, I don't think they will do it. But the problem is, like, they're not so bad you can just, like, excuse, like, 8 running back carries in an entire, like, 4 quarters of football. And that's how much they had. They had 8 running back carries. And do I think they have good running backs? No. I don't think they have, like, SEC caliber running backs by any means. I think Cobb is solid. I think maybe in, like, a lesser ACC program, he could probably get burned. But him and Austin are not, like, the talent discrepancy between, like, Bigsby and even like Hunter, who is like a little bit of a step down from Bigsby, not a lot. To these guys, it's just like monumental. But the fact of the matter is, like, the offensive line like is not good, and that probably is what informing this staff to say we're going to just throw the ball all the time. But the problem is like this, the quarterback can't throw, so that doesn't really work out. So the regression or the switch up in mentality would be to run the ball more in like potential plus opportunities, which is like first down, but this staff decides to throw all the time and first down. So even on 4th and 1, where like the guy can't throw and you're still saying, well, you're going to throw instead of like trying to run and it's in the drive. So that happened. The receivers are going to transfer. That's going to happen. They're being wasted as they've been wasted for 3 years now. But I would say like while they're still here, I would run more crossers, more slants, just gimmicky shit. Like I just would run shit that Hugh does not have like the fortitude to call for some reason. But I'd run more of that. I mean, I appreciate like some of the curls that we do, but like Jackson can't read those, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know if he can read a slant or a crosser either. Probably can't, but I would at least like do that. I'd do more of that. We don't do it, so I would at least do it. Defense, just keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, the defense, considering like this is not like a talented secondary whatsoever. Like at least in terms of like the cornerbacks, I wouldn't say they're talented at all. Fagans is nice. They kind of do some funky stuff with the safety sometimes. Sometimes linebackers play some safety, but the cornerbacks are just not like super talented. At least the ones that are playing. But considering that, I think it's impressive that they like are that good. So it is what it is. I mean, I don't think Durkin's like the best defensive play caller of all time, but he's okay. He's solid, even good, I would say, considering. But he's not like Super Saiyan 3, defensive coordinator. But he's good. I can't bitch about the defense too much, considering what they are asked to do. What are you gonna do? Special teams wasn't a huge problem. Simmons isn't like a good returner, but he's not. I don't know. They don't trust Pleasant, it appears, anymore. So I guess it's Simmons. I appreciate they try to give Perry some burn. I don't know if Perry is going to work. Perry is not going to work here, but I appreciate they tried to like make it work, but it's just clear that Perry it's not going to happen here. I hope he does work out though. Shout out to my guy 251. But that's about it. This team is probably going to go about, I would say, about 4-8, 5-7. That's about what I'm seeing right now. Hugh's going to get fired. Going to lose a ton of these recruits. Probably have to hire somebody that's got to work a miracle. The cycle repeats.